Moonlight to all. I want to start off discussing the 50-50 sort of spirit that has been going around. Now it has been around, and now I'm getting around to put my thought and my sense. This is based off of how I feel, just like it would be based off of what you are allowed to accept. It's your life, how you want to live, whatever works for you and the person that you're with. Now, I also will mention that I am I guess in the worldly way, heterosexual. So when I speak about a companion, it's men, only men. And I am a biological woman, so I speak on that standpoint. Solid. All right. Now, I also am speaking from a place where, I am 31. I've had encounters with people, experience, but never nothing deep, nothing longevity, no serious relationship. And it was by choice mostly. I do tend to spend most of my time in isolation. And that just means focusing on me, whatever that may be. And another part of that would have been using my integrity in most times, where if I'm given a ultimatum, it just wasn't something that I was looking for at the time. So I was never really personally looking for a serious relationship in my 20s. I wasn't really putting myself out there in the most proper way. And in a way where, the people that I encountered would have been decent, right? Like, you'd hope, but looking back, if the majority of the people that I met or had an encounter with were from online, or just, and if they're online, then that means they're in close proximity to me, they don't live too far, then my chances is very slim for many reasons on who I'm going to meet, why I'm meeting them, and what their intentions are. But I fairly got out of that sort of worldly way at 24. So at 24, I made a vow. Especially what made it easy was I didn't have prior relationships, any deep connections. So it allowed me to stay clear in what I was feeling inside, that I can just wait. I don't have to date. I don't have to necessarily have intercourse with these people. It's okay, right? So that wasn't hard for me. I understood what intercourse was. I've done it. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm missing out on something and I'm curious. It was more of the wise thing to do, that, yeah, this is not the type of way that I would want to continue condoning in a way for myself. Like, if I was to continue down this way of meeting people and there never being any deep connection, but me giving myself to them for what? What are you gaining? And you can most likely lose a lot from doing that. if you're not fortunate enough or covered, and if I must say. Because nowadays, I mean, if there's things out here that are contagious, not just in the mind or the body, but the soul, like if it's contagious and you're in an area, I mean, it doesn't even have to be in an area, because I mean, it could be you just happen to be in a place where, oh, you know, statistics say that you're not in the red zone. Yeah, you might not, your state might not be in the red zone particularly, but is that to say that your next door neighbor or the guy across the street or your teacher doesn't have the thing, doesn't have the contagion? No, that's not saying that. It's just going from numbers, like from what they've documented. You understand that? So it still doesn't, you know, take a certain place, but even with knowing, you know, those things, that being in a place where, you know, on paper it's documented to be in a red zone, right? Like if it's a zombie apocalypse, which technically it would be considered a zombie apocalypse, just not to that exaggeration. These people still have sense, right? They still can choose to infect people or not. But it is an apocalypse. It's apocalyptic. Apocalypse. Yeah, it's still apocalyptic because it's a contagion, and it's not even a pandemic. It's worldwide. Like it's just they just don't speak about it because they normalized it. Do you understand that? You got them saying it's no longer a death sentence, but that's okay to not speak about it in a apocalyptic way. It is an apocalyptic thing, okay? It is apocalyptic. Instead of saying it's a pandemic, it's apocalyptic. But because it's not a death sentence, because we have technology and they have this medicine for the apocalyptic stuff, you know, the apocalypse. I can't even say it no more. Because they have all these tech things for this apocalypse. Okay, I'm gonna retire it. It's not apocalypse. Okay, that's it. It is though. It is. Don't let that fool you. But you know, I don't have to tell you. I'm just auntie. I'm just reminding, you know. I'm just doing my duties. Doing what I do, boo, you know. You're like, auntie, I know. Okay, I just had to, just gotta check. That's it. So yeah, I thank God, because you never know. You never know. And so, you know, on top of me knowing inside who I was and who I didn't want to be or what I didn't have to be doing, and how, you know, I also knew like that helped me as well too. Like I'm trying to keep myself healthy. Like duh. I'm trying to keep myself healthy. It's already hard enough being here solo. Common sense pretty much is common sense. You know, and I know people speak about being modest, and it's like, yeah, that too. That too. But that came last because it wasn't more of what, I mean, modest could be for yourself and for others, but yes, ultimately it's modesty, right? To keep yourself together and sort of stay spiritually hygienic, physically hygienic. because giving your energy, your body is not hygienic at all. So what I mean when I say the modesty is more so the last thing, just meaning that I did it because I knew it was wrong. I knew that what I was doing wasn't like me doing it because, well, let me clarify. The way that I feel I was living, or the way I feel I was going, it may be normal to some people, right, to keep dating in the world, if you want to call it dating, or just plain old raw. Like, some people may get lucky, some people won't. Some people get your body, some people won't. You just never know, right? But regardless, it matters, because why continue living in that way? Why continue walking that path, right? You could say, oh, I'm just living my life in my 20s, making it normal. But not only is there apocalypse out here, but don't you feel it inside that, because again, I can only speak for myself. So I wasn't raised that way. I didn't even have relationships growing up, right? I was very sheltered and straight to the room. So that didn't make me pop out. That's why I can only speak for me. I'm not Susie or anybody. Like, I'm me. So it didn't make me like fast. Like, if I liked what I liked, I liked what I liked, but it didn't change me in that aspect. It didn't make me, because I've always was filled with integrity and very tough. So that actually really slowed things down for me when I did become truly independent and on my own at 20. So yeah, that helped save me as well, because there was times where my integrity got the best of me. And so I was just like, just leave, just get out. For real. Like, if it was just like, if the vibe was off, or someone probably didn't even last like a whole 30 minutes, because it's like, it doesn't take a whole 30, a whole day or a whole hour before we get somewhere for me to know, or for him to know. So yeah, sometimes my integrity would have got the best of me, which is my defense system. Now in the world, it may be, oh, you're mean, you're tough, but really it was probably saving me. Who knows what that guy was? Who knows what he had? Who knows what would have happened? Not saying things had to happen for the worst, but again, I'm not questioning it. I'm just saying that my integrity did slow things down for me, where I could have met far more people. But the way I'm tough and things like that, and I don't just let certain, well, I don't want to say certain, I just don't let people run all over me. Like, I'm very, very sweet and stuff, but like, I can't fake it if I don't feel it. So it's like, some people may have gotten a bit more sternness from me, and that's where my integrity was speaking for me. Like, so yeah, it just be like, it'd been the littlest things, but it was enough for me to for that moment, where it was like, it was enough for, let's say, that guy to leave, or me to figure out like, oh yeah, this is not gonna work. So I so yeah, that I cut it off at 24, and I made the vow, and that slowed everything down, because not only did I make a vow to stay, it was pretty much the vow to wait for my father. That just meant, I'm going to wait for you, Father, to show me who I'm supposed to be with, and hand me over to that person, and per se, right? Because he's my father, right? That's how it's supposed to be. And he obviously knows what's best for me, and he knows who is for me. I don't. So I was now like willing to allow him to control those things, because as much as you want to be prideful, for some people, I don't know, as much as you want to control your life, I might have to, second think that, because there's things that I can't control, right? My own body. There's things I need to work on, my tongue, right? Things like that. But I mean, I'm speaking about my fate. I'm speaking about my future, my love life, and we'll talk about it, right? These hot topics. But something like that, you can only dream about. You can only fantasize about. Because when you think about it, really, you could almost feel like you're being small-minded, or you're cheating yourself to think that, he has to be in this world, or he has to look like this because this is what everyone else looks like. Whereas Father has in store things that no eye has seen and no ear has heard. He could have a man for you that you couldn't even have imagined, or a woman for you, because you can't comprehend that. But only because it is where your heart is, and that is where he is, right? Meaning, how can I truly fantasize about my soulmate? Let's just use that word, because we don't want to use, oh, my husband. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh, my boyfriend. What? We're not using those words. My boyfriend. Are we high schoolers? Huh. My soul, my other half, right? My whole. What makes us whole is each other, like the whole in my soul. No, but yeah, so how can I fantasize about, I mean, I can, but I'm saying, like, think about how your mind only knows what you've seen, what you can compare it to. Like, no, I'm not even going to do that, because that's being small-minded to me. That's cheating myself to think that I'm going to think about a man for me and try to envision him. But really, I'm really taking from maybe men that I've seen. And that's not fair to him. That's not fair to me, because I don't want them, right? Like, if I, like, it's just not natural to do, because deep down inside, I know that there's someone for me. And yeah, he may be in this world. Yeah, he may be in the next world. Hey, that's okay, because I still know there's someone for me. I'm just saying that, how can I envision this person and say, oh, well, he needs to have this? No. Again, it's not natural for me to do. I've never tried to do it, and it doesn't naturally come in my mind. Like, oh, what does he look like? I'm signing myself up for me to draw someone that looks like someone I met before, or, like, just small-mindedness. And I'm also taking control of what I think I like, because it's like, nah, when you mature, very much mature, more so like who you are, and that's the spirit, because that's the only way you really mature. I mean, you growing old in the flesh just means your flesh is getting old. So I said mature. That's your spirit. That's who you are, right? When you start maturing, when it comes, again, my point, when it comes to your fate and your destiny, how are you even supposed to control that? How do you feel to think you're in control of that? You don't know. Again, I can try to understand how other people's perspective may be. Like, they want to have that control. They want to know their fate. But aren't you cheating you to only think that this is what you want, or this is how it will be, when really you're basing it off of all you've known? There are so many further greater things beyond your understanding that he may have in store for you, but you're over here trying to take the wheel. You're over here trying to tell him how he's supposed to look, how she's supposed to dress, how he's supposed to sound. But I figured that you trusted the Father. I figured that you believed that the Father knew your heart, knew your deepest desires. He's the one that searches in you to judge you based off of the things in you. So if anyone's going to know what you love, before you even know what you love, what you like, before you even know what you like, because your liking is always changing. You can meet someone right now and be like, wow, I never met you before. I like you. I like this. You know, I never seen you before, because you don't know. You don't know until you know. So that's why I say, I think you may come off a bit closed-minded and small-minded. You might be cheating yourself because all you know is what you've known. There are far greater things out here. Not saying that none of these people are worth it. I'm saying that don't try to control it. Don't try to tell people what you're looking for or how they're supposed to look. There's someone that could walk into your life and be nothing of what you thought. So why do it? That's what I mean. You need to mature. When you start maturing, you're like, oh, God, I'm going to leave it in your hands. Father, you know my heart. You know my desires. You see? Yeah. And then when it really comes down to it, of course, it's easy to make someone look a certain way. Like, oh, you know, everyone's cute in their own way. Everyone can be cute. They might not all be just like drop dead. Well, I don't want to say it that way. Not everyone is just like the best, but everyone got a little cuteness to them. That's easy, right? Let's just say that's easy to make a person cute. It's not easy to make a person who they should be for you, or who you think they should be, or mature because they're this age, or they're in this seat, or they're in this position. It's not easy for their spirit to be right. So before you start saying, oh, he needs to look like this, she needs to dress like that, she needs to sound like this, she needs to be in this position, she needs to have this amount of money, crazy. You need to be worried about, you need to make sure, and you want to hope that the people sent into your life got their spirit together. Yeah, they finances and all this is a bonus, but my God, we could work on that. We could work on the finances. How about we do it together? How about we help each other? Building, right? You know, I hear so many men talk about building, you know. Build together. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So, but you find that you hear this, oh, let's build together, but the spirit is wretched. They want to build, but they ain't ready. They're not the man for you. They're not a man yet. They're not their highest self. And you could say, oh, well, we could work on that too. Really? Do you really think? Because there's days where, you know, this man may tell you, I don't want to hear it. I don't want your lectures. I don't want a therapist. We've heard it before. Even if we weren't trying to be, it was just we were being us women, trying to help our brothers, trying to help our men. We love them because we're filled with that catering spirit, that nurturing. But you know, we know our men. They don't like, they call it nagging or whatever they want to call it. So which one is it? You know, you want to build, but now you want us to do what? Now, because we have exposed that you're not a man for us, or you're not your highest self, or your spirit is wretched, now it's like, okay, well, you could help me with that. Okay, well, we could work on that. Are you sure? Are you sure? Because I don't even know now. I'm not even sure that I'm actually agreeing to what most of you guys say most of the time. Why should we have to help you with who you are, who you should be? We don't know who that person is supposed to be. You only do. You only know who you're supposed to be. You're a man. You know how a man thinks, what a man goes through, what it takes. I don't. But yes, a woman can, be there for you, and her being who she is as a woman can definitely, remind you of the man that you are, the godly man that, you're headed to be. Amen. So that is part of the discussion that let's talk about it. Let's have this talk for my men, for my women, whoever the shoe fits, wear it. For myself, I say you don't really need anyone to tell you who you are and who you should be. Now, unless you have a mental issue, and there's a lot of people having identity crisis, but I mean, bear with me, okay? Bear with me. I'm saying that if you have a sound mind, right, and you're not possessed, you're not dealing with demons in that way, like you're normal, you're one of the normal ones, okay? You're holding on solid, you're decent. You know who you are. You know what you like, that's it. That's it. No one can sway you. I mean, they can because they will try, right? You're going to have people come up to you or maybe, I don't know, try to figure things out. Who knows, right? Far as things like, oh, what's your sexuality? Oh, you don't like girls? Oh, you don't like this? You don't like that? No. Mm-mm. I can only imagine other things that people have to go through. The way people express it. They may try to fill on you or try to see if you react. I don't know. That's never happened to me, in that way, at least. But like I said, I never make it comfortable for them to. I'm not acting like I'm something that I'm not, especially when it comes to sexuality. I'm just gonna act like me, and if they want to ask, they can ask, but that's it. We don't play around like that. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't entertain it, and I also don't go places where that's the scene. That is the vibe. That doesn't make sense to me. All right, so I'm gonna jump to this 50-50 talk. I've not really did much research. I remember just hearing about it like last year sometime. And once you hear it, it's like, oh, I get the drift of it. I get where they're coming from. I get what they're saying. Period. You don't have to listen to this lecture and how this person feels. I don't know. I'm just not that type of person. I don't like listening to everybody. You know what I mean? It's like I get it. Very selective. So I just want to share personally what I go for, what I look for, just all these things in this time of my life. So yeah. Now, again, I had disclaimed these things in the beginning that I am like single. Am I single? I don't even think I should consider it single. Like, no, I am for the Lord. I am for the Lord. That's what they say. I'm for the Lord. But yeah, no, I'm sealed up. So I'm not looking. Let's say that. But yeah, so 50-50. 50-50 is just what it sounds like. I have mentioned this, I have talked about this in my own way, and then the freaking lie was silent. I don't get it. It's all right. So, but I kind of brushed on it, and I was speaking about it in a way of like a grim reaper and someone that truly loves you, the difference between the two. And that if a person that's truly in love with you, not just loves you, in love with you, want to be with you, adores you, they're gonna do the do. They're gonna do the do do. Ooh, shouldn't say the do do do. They're gonna do the dang thing. They're gonna get jiggy with you. All right, so now I'm gonna just dissect that. I'm gonna just more so milk that. And so that's the fun part of it. It's just, let's just talk about it. All right, so 50-50 is just what it sounds. Let's say, you're in a relationship with someone, whether it's the beginning, the middle, the end. I don't know. What's the end? What's the end? What I meant with the end is just like you've been in it. You've been in this. Let's just say you've been in deep. You're in deep instead of the end. Sorry. So whether it's the beginning, the middle, or you just now deep in, y'all been dealing with each other for a long time now. Whichever the scenario is, 50-50 just means that whether y'all came to an agreement, whether this was the proposal, whether this was an expectation, whether it was discussed or not, now that you guys are with each other, spending time with each other, maybe living together, maybe not, but you're definitely going to go half with him and he's going to go half with you. If you're out, and again, it could be different little things depending on, because again, remember, we're talking about 50-50. We're not talking about, sometimes he pays some. We're talking about 50-50 and what that means. So what that means is if you go out with someone, you got to pay your half and he's going to pay his half. If you live with someone and you got to pay rent, property taxes, you're going half on the mortgage. You're going half on the bills. Half and half. Well, obviously someone's going to pay a little more unless it was an even thing, an even number. But pretty much half on everything for the most part. Now, then you can chime in and say, well, sometimes he pays for dinner. Okay, we'll talk. We're going to talk about it. But yeah, we ain't talking about sometimes, honey. We talking about just the 50-50 generally. Like, y'all got that going on? That's what it is. That's what we signed up for. I mean, that's what you signed up for. That's what we doing out here. That's what it's come to. Apocalyptic. Mm-hmm. I should put that in the background. But all right, yeah. Now, so there it is, right? Plain and simple, just straight to the point. We get it, we got it, great. We understand and we don't have to understand. We accept and we don't have to accept. Now, here is the greatest thing of all. Choice. Choice. Guess what? Say if someone proposed it to you. Skirt. But just hypothetically, someone proposed it because they was ready for it. It was on their mind heavy for some reason. That's sketchy already. What you approaching me with 50-50 and we just met? I was gonna say something, but I held my tongue. Hold your tongue. Okay. So, yeah, hypothetically, we got to go along because we got to milk this. We can't just be jumping and, jumping on them. Just hold on. Hypothetically, the person came with the 50-50 proposal. And in your mind, you got so many questions. Realistically, to be honest, though, you don't. It's just a bye, But we saying hypothetically, okay? We trying to understand a brother. Let him, or a sister, hear him out, because there's understanding, like there's a reason. Okay, what's your reason, brother? And again, I'm a woman, so we speaking on that department. But if you are a brother in this over here, then it would be for, you would be speaking to the woman and asking the woman these things. So what is so this is your proposal, hypothetically. Yeah, I'm down with the 50-50 situation. However they kind of bluntly spew it out. You heard the 50-50? Hell no. But you gotta just be hypothetical. So yeah, just play, what about it? No, but okay. So the proposal, and then you wonder why. What's the reason? And, they say, it's just hard out here and the economy and, why not? Why not? And it's just like, okay, great, valid reasons, But here's the thing with certain individuals. They'll look at that and hear roommate, friend, you don't love me, do you? And listen, money is not based off of, it's not based off of, if this person pays for everything. Of course not. But because here's the thing, okay? This is a complex thing. They done made it into a complex thing. Here's the thing. If you're not ready to take on a family, same thing. Because I'm your family now, right? And I'm sure you're going to be talking about babies. I'm sure, right? Because most of these men want a family. So hypothetically and reality, if you're not ready for a family to take care of one, then you're just not ready. And like I said, there's a choice. If that's just not something you're into, then you don't have to accept it, right? So if, some people call it old-fashioned. For me, I was raised in that old-fashioned era, so I come from that. It's not saying, I need to be stuck into that, but I did see there's always pros and there's the pros and there's the con. Now, yes, for me, I like a traditional man. I like a traditional, but here's the thing, I'm not conventional though. So that's why I have to explain these things, because there's certain things that I'm not with when it comes to certain traditions, and there's certain things that I'm not. So, well, I shouldn't say traditional. I should say old-fashioned. That's what I meant to say. I am old-fashioned when it comes to certain things. So I have to pick things out, and because I'm not everything. Not everything, because I'm not a conventional person at all. So again, I want people to remember it's a choice, okay? It's okay to be like, look, that's not what I'm going for, right? You prefer not to go 50-50 with your lover, If this is a freaking friend, then shoot, boo, we could go 50-50. It's hard out here for a pimp. Excuse me? Forgive me, I didn't mean to say that. It's hard out here for it's just hard out here. And it's just hard. So yeah, like 50-50. 50-50. Now, even with like, for me, even if there was someone that like my lover, hypothetically, if I'm loving this person, this is my lover, then I understand that like things happen. But this is the thing. For me, ideally, as a woman, I'm going to pay things because I want to. I'm going to pay things because I need to. Because it's a choice. But let's just say for my lover, he makes this proposal where he tells me that we're going 50-50. Or that's sort of what he's going toward in. That's what he's looking for. Well, the first thing you're going to ask is for how long? Like 50-50, why? Why, right? That's a appropriate question. Why? Am I with someone that is capable? Again, he ain't rich. Well, he rich in spirit. I mean, we are rich. Let's stop playing. We are rich, right? If we were in, we were home, quote unquote. Like, I don't have nothing to worry about. But since we're here, we got to talk like this, right? We got to talk worldly. So that's why I got to take my time, because it's like, for me, it's just plain and simple. Like, I would never have to worry about these things. And as you can see, I've never been in deep relationships to ever have to consider this. Ever. If somebody couldn't even give, like, in my younger years, if somebody wanted to see me and they couldn't even give me a ride across the street, or if I was like, oh, I gotta wash clothes though. Like, they wanted to see me and I'm like, well, I got to wash clothes today. And they didn't offer, but they still wanted to come after. Hell no. You know what I mean? Like, no. Like, that tells me everything. You still want to see me, but after. Oh, okay. So it does make me have to milk these things and think about it a little more, because it's not something in my mind that I think about. It's not something that I ever felt that I had to worry about. Like, to worry about me meeting my lover here and then him telling me that we're going to go 50-50. That has never crossed my mind. And then obviously, since this is a hot topic, it's been circulating. I'm a bit late, but I'm not really. But addressing my point of view, I'm just saying that for me as a woman, like, I don't have a brother in my life where he wants to be with me and he's my lover and he's telling me that I got to pay for this, I got to pay for that. No, right? So that's what I mean. When I was younger and I'm meeting younger men, right? If I'm 24, I'm meeting a 24-year-old, 25-year-old, 26-year-old, nothing below that, nothing below me ever. But I'm meeting fairly young people. What do I expect from them, right? Things are not going to really last. And then, like I said in the beginning, I'm not meeting like-minded people if I'm picking from a pond. You understand that? So, and then, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So I want to put all these perspectives in before I even really start telling you what I look for and what I go for. I want you to understand where I'm coming from before I say these things. Because, again, in my soul, I don't care for money. In my soul, I don't care for things. I would just rather choose passion and love, and my lover, like my soulmate. That's enough for me. That's freedom. That's peace. But here's the thing. Here's the catch. If you're going to think that you're going to be in love here or find love here, that's one of those topics that's going to be brought up, as you can see. So that is what I mean when I say, well, I also have to fill you in that, well, that's not my situation, right? I'm not having these deep connections with these people. I've never had to have this sort of conversation, right? And that's the thing. When things are not longevity in your life, they're temporary. You're just meeting someone for a day, half a day. You meet up and they want to take you out. It ain't like I'm asking them to take me out. So that'll be a little different. It may probably pop up in a brother's head to probably ask me, like, well, you asked me out, so you mind paying? But that was never the case, right? So if I did go out with a brother in my younger years, like, they're asking me, so, and it's food or drink, so it's like, it never was something that, again, was in the energy to be like, oh, 50-50. No. Okay, now we have to put all these other things in perspective. I'm older, right? You're older. You're maturing. I'm maturing. So expectations, if you have those, we try not to have those, but there are standards, right? That's the more mature version to describe expectations. Standards and boundaries. We have those things, rightfully so. Just like somebody wants to hold you at a high standard. That's a great thing. That's a good thing. Tough love. They don't got to be so tough, right? Tough to where they're abused, no, it's just people see your potential and they want to push you. They want to see you do better. They want the best for you, and they're going to remind you of that. When the realness in a person, when, you slipping and they catching you, they like, hold on, go back in the house and put some lotion on them ankles. You want your feet out, but they looking real ashy in the crevices. You want a brother like that. You want a sister like that, because it reminds you of community. It reminds you of your people. Like, please tell me, right? Because we're human at the end of the day. We're human. And if we're not maintaining ourselves, then it's going to show. And people should be mature enough to understand that, because they got to do the same things we got to do. They got to wipe their butt. We got to wipe our butt. We got to clean in our private places and those dark crevices. And if we don't, they get sweaty. They get stinky. They don't get enough air circulation. You don't rinse off, you're going to smell some way. We know. This ain't just puberty. That's where it doesn't even start at puberty. It doesn't even start there. But we can use that to see everyone has to go through this. The body sweats. If you don't rinse it off, it's going to smell some type of way. On top of the food and everything that we're eating that's being released, right? You have onions, you have garlic. Okay, well, you're going to have garlic breath. You're going to have onion breath. Some people ain't going to tell you. Some people will. And that's all right. We're going to respect the ones more if they tell us, right? We're not going to hate them. Yeah, we're going to feel a little humiliated, but we're going to, at the end of the day, really be grateful for those individuals, because they hold you at a higher standard. They hold themselves at a higher standard, right? They say, oh, I'm not going to go for that, or you can't leave the house like that now. This ain't because you had a shirt on that they didn't agree with, right? They said purple, you said green. No, this is like, hold on. There's a hole in your shoe. Hold on. Your breath is a little tart, Okay, it's all right. That's it. They just hold themselves at a higher standard. They hold you at a higher standard. Just as we have to hold ourselves at a higher standard. It's like, yeah, but we're all human. We have to deal with this human body, right? This either we're gonna keep it up or it's gonna deteriorate. It's living. It's a living organism. If I don't brush my teeth consistently, what's gonna happen? Bacteria is gonna infest. You're gonna get the white coat on your tongue. Then your breath's gonna smell. Your teeth is gonna start being tinted and yellow because of maybe the dyes in certain food, right? If you never floss, things are gonna be just stuck in your teeth. It's gonna make your teeth smell, not because you're dirty, but because you're not flossing and there's food decaying in between your teeth. Again, we're all human. It's gonna happen. So we have to maintain those things. And so what you want is someone that truly adores you, loves you enough to, because to me, those are not flaws. It's just, it could be preventable. Like just take better care of yourself or just, keep maintaining yourself. That's it. You can never stop. It's a lifelong thing. So when someone not only adores you and loves you, you want also someone that holds you at a higher standard. Because there's people that say, oh, I love you, but they'll never tell you the truth. I'm like, dang, he didn't say nothing. That's crazy. And then they want to use the pitiful excuse of, well, I didn't want to say nothing because maybe it would have hurt her feelings. Maybe it would have hurt his feelings. I'm like, do you know who you talking to? And if they know you, then they should understand, okay, why would this hurt my feelings? Right? I thought we had open communication. And that's why, again, that goes in with, you should know the person. Y'all should be talking. Like, that's the core of y'all relationship. Like, that's what makes it so strong. The way that you could talk, express, be yourself with this person. Talky, pillow talky, all day talky, on the phone talky. Like, talky. So the last thing you want to hear from someone is, oh, well, they didn't want to tell you because they didn't want to hurt you. That's a lie. That's a lie. This must not be somebody that loves me. This must not be somebody that knows me. Now, again, this is for me though. If this is you, hypothetically, and you're a person that don't really speak to your lover, hard to believe it's your lover. Whereas, yeah, you say you could speak, but it's surface things. You still hide all those other things. So when it's time to actually tell, the person of themselves, you don't want to do it. Because you don't know how this person will react. Because y'all never got too deep and expressed such things. I mean, I'm flabbergasted. But you're sleeping next to this person? I mean, in our big age. You see that? I could give you grace, but to what extent? How old are we? Have we not matured? It's gonna always come back to that because that's your whole existence, is to grow. Is it not? Is it not to mature? What are you here for? What are you doing? To stay in a child's place? Like to stay in a child's place when you're an adult. First of all, you're a pedophile. That's what you are. Get out. To find you around my children. You're not a child. I don't care how childlike you may think you still is. Get out. You're nasty. You get it. So let's cut the crap. Face your reality, sir. Ain't nobody saying to change who you is. You can play the game, all the games you want to play. But when it comes to common sense, you better act like it. You better act like you got sense. That's the basic sense that we expect. Act like you got some sense. Face your reality that you're not a child no more. No one's saying to change. Your personality is, witty and all this, that's fine. Shoot, I could be witty too, but I got common sense. I'm gonna be serious when it's time to be serious. I'm gonna get in line when it's time to get in line. You see what I'm saying? And you just can't get jiggy with these certain individuals because it's like they look at you like, nah, she's not witty. Because why? Because you don't see it in this time? That's because I gotta face your clown face. Because I had to tell you to get out of child's place because you're an adult? That you looking kind of suspicious. That's why? Ain't no time to be witty, brother. Face your reality. Life is not witty. Life is serious. And this is a serious situation. And it can escalate into something real, real serious. And then you're going to have no choice but to get it knocked out of you. And knocked into you. Yeah. So, again. All right. So, where was I? I'm going to just start with, again, your communication is key. Knowing the person is key, right? So before I'm really answering it without really, being basic about it, right? I can't just really answer about how the only way I can truly answer talk about this sort of thing is to just milk it. Because it isn't just a straight answer like yes or no. It's like, hold on, who are you? How do I feel about you? And what's the reason? We have understanding. It's not like, I love you for what you can do for me. I love you, right? You're my lover. But, so I'm using my personal input, and then I'm also using hypothetical scenarios, right? Like someone else and things like that. Like old brother man. They got the sense knocked into him. Finally, it was always there, but he just didn't want to, anyway, he didn't want to face it. Yeah, so communication. And again, for me, at this big age, because I'm older and I'm mature, you would hope that as you're aging, you're maturing. You'd hope. Now, of course, that doesn't always happen for obvious reasons. You're not learning nothing. You're experiencing, but you're still going through the same thing. You're not progressing. You're not sort of passing that test. Like if you're in a horrible situation, it's the 19th year that you're still with the same sister, you're still with the same brother that's a grim reaper, okay, that giving you all of this and all of that. And even if they Lord knows, whatever that is, right? They giving you they done stole from you, you lost friends, just so many things, a lot of darkness there. This your 19th year. They've been, redoing this test stage version of them, never progressing. Instead, the opposite. And you can see that. Is he now a bit more quieter? Is she now a bit more quieter? Does she fight back anymore? Does she still have the fire in her? No. Did he lose respect a long time ago? And is he, still cheating and lying? And is she still, are they both doing it now? Like, it's come to so much darkness because they stayed in it. So now there's a lot of acceptance of this unruly, of this darkness. Now they come to this sort of agreement that they're going to stay together, but just be open in an open relationship. It's all these scenarios. It's so deep. You see, that depth is wide. I don't want to go down there because, I don't want to get lost. Lost in thought, guys. Lost in thought. So communication is key. Knowing the person. The only way you can know a person is if you're talking with them. And we're not talking surface level. Who are you, sir? Let me see you. Let me look in your eyes. Let me feel your energy. Shoot, you don't gotta look at your eyes. Look, pillow talk. Let's talk. And that's the thing. You shouldn't have to say, let's talk. It should just come naturally, right? If he want to come see you, she want to come see you, they want to see you. So best believe if they wanted to see you, and this is a lover, not a Grim Reaper, they're going to want to be all cuddled up with you, and they're going to be wanting to know what's up with you. Period. They're going to be like, what's up with my baby? What's up with you, mommy? Stop. What's up with you? How you doing? How was your day? How you been? It's been a long time. I've been wanting to see you. So all those sort of things. They're going to want to say those things inside of their soul, okay? Because they desire you. We're not talking about a Grim Reaper. We're talking about your lover. And since I'm a woman, I'm going to speak for the women on this one. Yeah, they will most likely take the lead. You see, usually, and I'm just going to go off spirit, usually when we women have to take the lead and we're asking all these questions and we exerting our energy, heard you, sis. Heard you. Well, what do you think that means? He ain't interested. You more interested than him. I'm just speaking off spirit because I feel like when a man is into you, it's different. Men are, we talky anyway. So it's just like, how do you know? How would you know, right? If we're always wondering about this and that, we may not give them the chance to speak, right? Maybe that could be our excuse. Oh, well, it's because, maybe I just started speaking first. Okay, all right. But here's the thing. If we're going off spirit and this is our lover, not a Grim Reaper, this is our lover, like this is the one that like is the real thing, has good intentions, is a man, okay? Or this is a woman. This is the woman for you. They have good intentions. I feel that spiritually, and I believe this, that your spirit will allow, how these people talk about soft life. Your spirit will take a back seat. Your spirit will relax in the presence of your lover, in the presence of your soulmate, or in the presence of a good man, right? Because he doesn't have to be your soulmate. He doesn't have to be the one, but in the presence of a good, godly man, okay? Just like when you feel calm around a person, they feel calm around you, you feel safe with them, you allow your spirit, you feel it, and you're just like, okay, I'm going to trust this feeling, okay, I'm going to take a back seat. I'm not going to say nothing. Hold your tongue, And usually you wouldn't even have to hold your tongue because it's just like, again, your spirit is speaking on your behalf, right? Usually it's your flesh having to speak like, oh, I don't like that. Or, be quiet. Your spirit is always having to fight with these demons. That's what it is. Or, you're fighting with your flesh because Your spirit is fighting with these demons. And, so yeah, it's just a fight. You never rest it. Not even when you're literally trying to rest among them or laying among the Grim Reaper. You don't feel rested. You feel uneasy, uncomfortable. You feel like fighting. You're probably kicking each other, poking each other, pushing each other, right next to each other. Real toxic. I know. So again, this is the lover. And so everything will be different with the lover. Okay, I know you're used to Grim Reapers, women Grim Reapers, male Grim Reapers. But the soul of them is to reap, is to take, is to drain, is to suck. You're dry. And we're not talking the good kind. Okay? We're all adults here, right? Okay. Be aware. Take caution. So this is your lover. This ain't really hypothetically. This is once in a lifetime sort of rareness, because you'll know it when you know it. It's not every day that you feel this way. It's not every day that you get to just relax. It's not every day that a godly man or a godly woman comes into your life and says, I want to take care of you, and truly means that with godly intentions. And when they mean they want to take care of you, you don't even have to really ask a man that. Like, a man, this excites me because I know in my heart what a man is. And so even a woman, right? When someone says, I want to take care of you, or I'm going to take care of you, they won't even really care for you to ask. They're like, look, you ain't got to ask. You ain't got to worry about it. Right? And us women, we always want to know, what you mean? What you mean? What you say? Like, we didn't hear that. And it's that confirmation that we want. We always need for some reason. Right? But it really is just that we come off that way because it's just the way that we express our excitement, our joy. Like, wow, instead of saying, wow, or thank you, we just say, what'd you say? You sure? Oh my God, just extra. Or instead of just not saying anything, we say things. So a guy could be like, you ain't got to respond to that. But we're going to respond because that's the way we express it. Okay, so if the woman or the man is saying, I'm going to take care of you, I want to take care of you, don't worry about it. What do you think that means? Remember, this is a man. This is a sound mind man. This is an old-fashioned man, okay? He ain't conventional neither. He ain't traditional neither, but he's old-fashioned. We know what old-fashioned means. It ain't this new age, modern AI type. There's just things in the spirit that was perfect. There was just things that were there before that didn't need to be changed. That actually exists. Like, not everything needs to be changed. We're changing things that didn't never need to be changed. There's things that, and here's the thing. It seems like people are fighting who they are. And that's the thing. To try to change something that you are, that should be hard. right? And that's what I mean, that when you're in the presence of a godly man, he knows who he is. He knows what he's supposed to do for his family. It's just instinctual. So for someone to go against that instinct, to go against who he is, that's crazy works. So no one can change that, but they can try to, you know, not be that sort of thing, right? Not act on those sort of things. Maybe their brother is like, don't do that for her, or you need to stop with all this. You need to start treating these women like that, and this influence. But deep down, a man, or a woman that has sound mind, she doesn't have mental issues. Ain't nothing going on. She's not cuckoo, right? As much as I could be this and that, I still know who I am. I still know who I am in the face of a man. I still know how I feel when I'm with a man, man. It's just instinctual. But I could play hard. I could play like a child. I could play this. I could think back of what my sister said, my brothers said, not my actual siblings, but my sisters and brothers out here that be talking left and right. You need to do this with these brothers. You need to start acting like you need to take that. You need to do all this influence that he hearing, I'm hearing. But yeah, we can hear this, we can hear that. Due to generations, things change. You start to see the change, modern ways, new age ways. But there's that knowing. There's still that knowing that I'm a woman and I'm for a man. And that man knows he's a man and he's for a woman. Like, you know, a woman's for him. And when they're together, it's electric. Boogie, oogie, oogie. It's, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, and in other words, it's nothing like it. It's literally what God says, to become one. Okay? I'm gonna just keep it the PG version. See, I don't even think they have PG anymore. I don't even know. That's the thing. Like that didn't have to change neither. Like PG movies, okay, PG movies that really should be R-rated. That's crazy. You can watch a scary movie today and it'd be PG. I don't get it. Anyways, that's an example of something that didn't, you know, does need to change and shouldn't have changed. Like it shouldn't have changed in the first place for me to have to say it needs to be changed back. That's old fashioned. Like back in the day, it was right. Shrek was PG. It was family oriented. It was kid friendly. Like you knew you were seeing a kid friendly, family oriented movie, period. If it said PG, you knew you weren't walking into no horror film. That was straight up R rated. And I guess R-rated now stands for more, you know, S sort of content. But anyway, like I said, I'm old-fashioned, so that's what my mind thinks. So that's also an example of what I mean of old-fashioned. Doesn't mean traditional, doesn't mean, you know, everything old-fashioned. It just means what it means for me. And I have a decent mindset. I think I'm very decent. And I know that I am because I'm not superficial and I'm not materialistic. So that helps a whole lot for me to be a decent woman. Okay. At least that's the starter pack. You know, you ain't materialistic and you ain't superficial. Oh, you definitely made it on the decent list. Okay. We still got to get to know you, but you definitely made the cut. Okay. Especially if he ain't superficial, ain't materialistic, he made it too. He made it too. Listen, you can meet someone, say he has a good job. That means he's comfortable. He has security. He has a better wage than most, okay? He's living fine. He'll be all right. But he's not materialistic. He ain't superficial. Okay, stop playing with me. He made the cut. That's even better. That's even better, you know? But here's the thing. You still need to know this person, because they could be non-materialistic and non-superficial, but they're stingy, right? They're not a giver. Yes, I know. So let's milk that. Because there's different type of sort of, I said not a giver, but that's more extreme, because here's the thing. He just may not be a giver to anybody. Like me, I'm a giver to anybody. That's it. Like, it's all right. If someone asks me for something on the street, it's like, all right, you know. And I don't know, maybe most men are this way. Who knows, right? It could be just a womanly thing where we just give. I want to put that in perspective. But in this hypothetical, these scenarios, there's so many scenarios that you could see that in this one, this man may be a giver to you. See, you don't know that. Yeah, he may say, oh, I'm not, I'm very cautious with my money. So that's a mature way to say it, rather than saying, oh, he's stingy or he's not a giver. What I was meaning to say was, he's just very cautious, where we're more free. Like, we're more free with our tongue. We're more free with our finances. Like, we want to go shopping or just window shop. Like, we don't know. We just want to see things. Who knows? Or we want to get stuff for the house. We want to get stuff for your mom. We want to get stuff for, your sisters, aunt, goddaughters, brothers, sisters, nieces, friends, baby shower. We want to get stuff for the baby, the baby. We don't matter what bloodline, the baby. We got to get it for the baby. It's the baby. I don't play with my babies, right? So we more free with all those things. So I want to put that in perspective as well, for everyone to understand the woman and the man in that dynamic, and the understanding between the two, that we're different. We are. And so a lot of things that you may think that a man should be because you are, you need to know the difference between the two. Okay. So he is very cautious with his money, just as I would think most men would be, because they're not women and the way women are. Okay. That's just, someone say science. Okay, well that's just God. That's just how we were created. Science and all. That's just it. So he has a one up on that. He doesn't have to give, because it's not in him to just give. He has to protect you, boo. Don't you want to go here? Don't you want to do this? You don't want to be 50-50. Amen. Yeah. You don't want to be 50-50. So what you mean? Continue. That's what I thought. So he is not stingy. Some people could think he is, because when they ask him for money, he like, nah, I don't have it. But they never ask him why, right? If you ask him why, he say, because I got a family. Because I'm in a whole relationship. Because I have a lover, right? I got people that depend on me, because I'm a man in this world. But really, because he has a family. And here's another thing. People think that when someone says family, they think children. We ain't got children. We ain't got children. He already know, and I know I could wait my next life for that. Because in the situation right now, I'm the baby. We're each other babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we take care of each other. We're growing. We're studying. We're ever learning. We're exploring. Like, come on now. Our inner child. So for me personally, yes, my lover knows that. My lover knows that about me. That's like the first thing. That comes up in the first conversation, because we grown, we mature. And in this world, time is ticking, right? In this world, in the flesh. So most likely the person will bring those things up. If you don't, they will. Like, oh, do you have kids? Are you looking, blah, blah, blah. Those are conversation starters. Are you married? Some people try to avoid that question, but I could never skip over it. My spirit wouldn't allow me to. So I always end up asking that question. And if they say yes, they say yes. They say no, they say no. Hey, well, at least I know I, did my part. Ask what I needed to ask for my spirit's sake. Because I don't want to be second thinking it and it's weighing on me like, oh, you could have asked this person if they was married, but you didn't want to ask because you was a coward. you didn't want to be held at a higher standard. You didn't want to be judged, But anyway, yeah, so either hypothetically, personally, I'm speaking personally, for me, my lover would know that. And that's his choice to agree with it or be okay with it or whatever he's looking for. So yeah, family just means me and him. I'm his family. Because do you understand what family is? Being blood related doesn't. Let's say this. Did you earn that title? Did you earn that respect? We're mature. This is not growing up just following along with this tradition that, oh, because we're blood related, we're all family. No, you come to realize in a matured, evolved version that these people are individuals. And that if they don't respect you, then they won't be in your life. So that's why you come to realize, this stranger knows more about me than someone that's actually been around me my whole life, that quote unquote is my family. But no, this person has maybe my blood, but is an individual to me, is a stranger. Did not get to know me, did not want to, didn't accept me, did not choose me. But this person that we may not be related, blood related, but they know everything about me. They want to know me. They want to understand me. They hear me. That's family. So again, why wouldn't it be family if it was just two of us? Why does it have to be family if, that's the thing, that's traditional. It's like, oh, you have a family? How many kids? And he over here like, no, it's just me and my lover. Me and her. They said, oh, I see. Yeah, it starts to wake people up again. Family just means what you should know it to be. Someone that cares for you, knows you, understands you, loves you. Just saying. Especially if you want to use that term family, then yes, put some respect on it. It's people that actually adore me. Accept my flaws and all, chooses me, not using me, not there because they feel they have to be, not there because, oh, they blood related. You don't have to. You don't have to. You are free. There is nothing bounding us, not even blood. Especially when you found God, it's like, no, I know who my family is. I know who my father is. I know where I belong. And anybody else that wants to follow along or be with me, then that's even a bonus. That's a bonus family. But best believe, like, I know where my home is. So it's all right. These people are individuals and they can stay that way. No one needs them. All right. So, yes. Communication is key, and knowing the person. So they should know these things about you. And again, it's choice. If they choose not to, they don't have to. But if they choose yes, then they've accepted it. Now, obviously, you want to make sure, but you think, see, here's the thing. Us women, we'd want to make sure. Again, it's that confirmation thing. It's like, are you sure that you're okay? with the path that I'm on, the path that like I see myself in, right? You know, we start to say things on behalf of them, like, you know, I don't want you settling. like you start talking to these men like they're children, you know, unintentionally. It may come off that way, you know, or the person may feel insulted in a way where it's like, yo, like, I'm a man. Like, I know what I want. I'll tell you if I don't like it, you know, you know, they'll say things like, you know, Alize, if I didn't want you, I wouldn't be with you right now. Like, it's simple. If I don't agree with what you're saying, then I'm just not gonna agree. Nothing's making me stay here. I want to be here, okay? So again, that's just the way women are, and that's why we get the rep that we get, and they get the rep they get. Far as they're very straightforward, they know what they want, they're rational, and you know, just what you would think if they weren't like a hormonal person like us. We're all around looping and, you know, up and down, overthinking. Everything is very sort of kind of unstable in a way, whereas they're just straight steady. Okay. And that's the beauty in that dynamic. Okay. All right. So again, the 50-50. Are we speaking hypothetically, or are we just speaking dream world? Dream world. Of course, dream world. But again, let me just disclaim this, that again, I feel like I could leave this conversation and move to the next topic, but I do want to say again that I'm rich, you know, in the spirit. I'm rich. And when I say that, I just mean I'm not worried about that. So I guess that will kind of go into my final answer, that since I don't worry about that, it's, in other words, saying yes, if there's if my lover, or if someone in this world became that in a way, or let me stop trying to milk it, because it's like, why would you want anything less than that? Like, you want people coming up to you, not your lover, but they're okay, but they're not your lover. Your lover, there could be levels to it. But yes, if someone is my lover in this world, not that anyone is, and that's what I mean. It's hard for me to like answer it this way, because it's just like, I'm not looking for it. And I think what I'm really saying is that I don't expect it in this world. Like, I don't expect to, I know it sounds cringy, but you got to understand, like, trying to explain these things in the most simplified way. It's not that I've given up on the world, but I did. But not in like a bad way. It's more like I never went looking for it, right? Because again, I stopped all that at a young age. So I never got the chance to really be looking for my soulmate or looking for a partner in life. So for me to have to answer this question, it's like, well, I'm still young, so I'm not like looking for it. You understand what I mean? So it's like, and when it does happen, it's meant to happen. And whether I'm still here or I'm back home with my father, I'm still going to be comfortable. I'm still going to be rich, and like, I won't have to worry about this crap. You know what I mean? But if I had to be hypothetically and be like, okay, if someone came into my life right now and truly loved me, was in love with me, was my lover, what would be my standards? What would be, my standards would be, we ain't doing 50-50. Like, that's really kind of like, it's not the old fashioned, the way I picture it. Like, that's not what I see. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. Like, when I think back of like love, And that's what I mean. And this world is cringy because they've made it into a dollar sign. They made money to be something that, like, if you don't have it, everything's dead. Your relationship's dead. Your love is dead. Like, you're dead. And that is why, I had to milk it the way that I did, because it's like, it makes you into something. It makes, this topic come about. And it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Just like it has made some women hard. It's made some women very tough. It's like, it's a discussion because it's come to this, and it's unfortunate. And so when I speak on the spirit, I say, well, I try to look at it like in a dream world, right? I always keep my eyes in the clouds, and I'm not really totally like on the ground with it. And you may look at that like, oh, well, I see that as a very positive thing. Some may think like, get real, you're not going anywhere. This is your life. But they don't know. They don't know anything, right? They don't have my belief. So yes, my eyes are in the clouds. So I try to answer it truthfully, that I truly believe that, I won't be here forever. Forever. I believe that there is a soulmate for me. There's a lover for me, and everything will be like perfect for me, right? Like whatever I want and need, and whatever he needs, it's gonna be perfect. I don't worry about those things. So the way other people do, and I understand why they do, because they look at it like, well, I'm gonna be here for forever, and this is gonna, I understand. But they also are not living the way that I am, right? I've taken a vow, right? So there's far more things before that could even happen. Or, things would be a bit slower. Like, if a person wants to know me, they're going to have to get to know me first. I'm not looking to get married or have those conventional things, children, in this lifetime or at this time. So that may be different from majority of these women, right? Especially now that they're hitting their 30s and things like that. It's like, yeah. So all those things take perspective. And yeah, it just hasn't found me. So I don't worry too much. I still have hope. I still believe. And I always will. Like, it's hard for me to think that people have given up because maybe they have been in relationships, so many of them, where like the men were not men. You understand? Right? And I can only imagine because of the horror stories. Like, oh, I found out my man was gay. I found my man was, down low. Had a secret life, had other kids, had another wife. Whoa. I get it. Whereas I've never done relationships. Again, I made a vow at 24. Before that, of course, I wasn't looking for relationships because I was really just looking for a friend or a decent person. It's hard enough just meeting people for it to last. That's why there's so many one night stands, or there's so many, it's just everything's temporary, because it's like, it's hard enough to even deal with people because they're not in their right sense, right? Or they can't even hold a conversation, or they don't have any intellect. I'm not a dumb broad. So it's like, things were never going to be easy for me. People weren't going to be able to get over on me. And if that was the case, that's why it didn't last. And at that age that I was, that didn't make it any better. Whether I'm meeting older people or people my age, something wrong with them. Something wrong with them. Like, something is wrong with them, okay? Whether they was married, whether they was, I don't know. Something is wrong, okay? So it was never going to last. You're dealing with something wrong. Something is wrong. You're dealing with a tapeworm. There's tapeworms in these people's brains, especially at that age. Okay. So after 24, this garden is sealed up. Do you understand that? So I'm speaking at 31 as a person that has dreams and is speaking from the soul of hypothetical scenarios of what I've seen in the world, what I know, and what my heart tells me. And I'm also speaking about the best way I can with what, my soul tells me. What I see myself to, look for. That's it. And again, it all comes down to choice. Whatever works for you is for you. Whatever works in your relationship is your relationship. How I feel and what I think is not the only way. Because truthfully, if your soul is okay with the way that you live, then hey, be authentic to yourself, I guess. Because you're going to have to live with it. You're going to have to wake up every day and know, dang, I gotta go half with this nigga. I gotta go half with my roommate / lover. Okay. Because you gotta understand, like, this is not a case where the woman don't do nothing. And it's like, okay, woman, you don't really do nothing, so the least you could do is like pay some bills. Okay. That's like saying, someone saying like, oh, well, you don't have kids, so we don't have kids, so you gotta pay some bills. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Santa go, bye-bye. That's outrageous. That's just outrageous. You got, I know you stupid. I know you got a tapeworm. I know you got a tapeworm. If they try to use that pitiful of excuse to go 50-50 with you, well, we don't have kids right now. Work and, we could do 50-50. Boy, bye. Who he thought I was? Susie wouldn't even go for that. But yeah, so yeah, like you waking up, because understand this. A man will know what a woman goes through, and a woman knows what a man goes through. And you guys communicate often, right? You guys tell each other feelings. The man open up, he cries, he's a human being. He should have your shoulder to cry on. He should be able to come to you and not his friends. So you won't be complaining while he's with his friends all the time. You should be open to him, being open to his feelings, to express it and not be poking at him and being like trying to belittle him. Who are you? You're not a woman. You're not yet a woman yet. Not for him and not for nobody. Shoot, I don't even have deep relationships. I know that. Some person could look at me and be like, oh, she still needs to grow. Oh, she's still, immature. What? Not that they would, but they could look and it's like, really? But you choose to belittle a man that has feelings to where now he hides it. And then you want to question why men are not emotional, or why he don't show his true feelings, or why he can't talk to you. Stop it. Hold your tongue. These women want to play so sophisticated. Like they got this script down. You know the spirit. Like they so grown, so mature, they dress the part, look the part, but inside like little girls. Little girls. They look the part though. They look all sophisticated, talk all sophisticated, got that little, like they have like the same spirit. They got all like the same spirit. You know, like just like they lingo, like, yeah, girl. So like my man was like, shut up. Shut up. Ain't no originality in none of that. And whoever started it, that's the original person. Like it be line from line that they all be sounding like for real. You know, and that's the lingo. Like that's how trends happen, right? Like they all start sounding the same. You know, and that's what it is. It's like, oh, this is what a sophisticated woman is supposed to look like. This is what a sophisticated, I'm using sophisticated because, you know, these grown women be liking that sophistication. Like, oh, we got to all work for corporate. Like, we the sophisticated ones. Girl, stop. Nobody even hating on you. Trust me. Trust me. And that's the thing. They probably used to people hating on them because the people hating on them is wretched too. Their spirit ain't right. Baby, my spirit right. And I can see you. And I know you're wretched. But on the surface, people can't see that. So they hating on you. They're hating on you because of what they don't see in you. They don't see you. They just see all of what you portray. But I don't care how sophisticated you look or how sophisticated y'all sounding the same. It's robotic to me. And it ain't flattering. And I don't understand how a real man can see that and be flattered by it. Now, a man that's just, you know, typical, just like a typical man gonna use you because he know you on corporate, you corporate money. Just like typically you're gonna take this person in and you're gonna feed him. And typically you're gonna stay together for 20 years because he know that he can do better than you because ain't nobody gonna cater to him the way you do. Nobody's gonna kiss his feet the way that you do. Ain't nobody gonna put up with him. Yeah, typical, just typical script. Okay, stop it. I, on the other hand, I want my lover to be passion, like there's passion there. Okay, it ain't passion because, oh, I'm in corporate or I got this high paying job. Who cares? Who cares, girl? It's okay. Like, it's okay. Let your hair down. Stop perming your hair. It's okay. Like, be natural, bro. Dang, like, it's a whole script. Like, I feel bad for them. But they be the main ones, like, with this attitude, you know, thinking they stuck up. And it's like, yo, people that can see you, we see how pathetic it is. Trust me, we're not all hating on you. Some of us see you. And we're praying for you. It's okay. I don't want you to break one day, you know. But these sort of women, these sort of men, you know, they think they got it going on because on script, on the paper, everything aligns. But best believe, right when something happens, right when something happens, that's out of script, you're gonna see their crazy side. You're gonna see their crazy side because they're wretched. They're wretched. They're scripted. They have to fit this script. They have to be scripted and robotic. If they can't, they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna go crazy. And I think a lot of typical people are attracted by that because they know that they're stable. Like, okay, you know, there's stableness in that. You know what I mean? Like they're so robotic that it's like, oh, I know this woman gonna get up and work every day. I know she gonna feed me every day. I know she gonna have this attitude every day. Well, not a bad attitude, but like, you know, she gonna take, you know, all that crap. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe it's the free spirit in me because it's like, yo, there's no guarantee. Like some days, like I'm gonna just feel this way. I'm gonna feel that way. I'm gonna do this. I want to do that. I might wake up and be like, let's go here, let's go that. There's no script with me, so it's just like I don't know. Like what you like, okay? What works for you is what works for you. All I'm saying is I don't deal with that scripted. Like that don't flatter me. And it's not cute to me. So it's like, you know, and those type of people be the most boastful, the most superficial, the most materialistic, thinking that somebody want their life. And maybe some do, and that's why they got a big head. But god dang, like, I don't. Honey, I don't. Because again, I just want real love, not a hobo. Okay? I just want real love, not no 50-50. That's a hobo. That's not even a hobo, but that's his cousin. Okay? I don't want lust. I want passion and love. Right? Like, I just don't want that life. I don't want someone that's stuck up, got like a stick up their butt. I want someone that is like chill, laid back, but free spirited. Like if I want to go here, they like, yeah, let's do it. That's it. Like, they're willing to do it. They want to do it. I don't gotta drag them. And if they're busy, shoot, they're gonna be like, you enjoy yourself. Because that's what I like to do anyway. I like to be by myself, have my privacy. That's key. That's key to being an individual. Do you understand that? That's another topic we should talk about. Privacy. Understand, it don't matter. Lover, friend, family. Like, I'm a person. Not only that, but I'm a woman. I have womanly needs, womanly understandings. Like, the way that I have to go to other women to discuss certain things, same thing. There's a time for those things. Your partner should be accepting of those things. Your partner should be able to know you as well. So if I'm over here like, oh, I need to go out for a few days, or I need to go away, I need to take some time, and it ain't even take time, it's just I need to feed me. He's understanding of what that means because he knows me. I've been alone my whole life. I chose to be alone. I've been doing this before him. It's never going to change. That's the type of person I am. You know, as close as you could be to a person, as attached as you could be to your lover, it will still never change. You're still individual. You need time away. Shoot, take a vacation. You don't like to be by yourself. You don't like to be with yourself. And that's the issue. I love that. You know why? Because I love me. You can't tell? You don't know me? How could I not love me? So yes, I like to take myself places. Or just walk, just get out the house and I'm gonna, if you want to tell the person. My brother is like, you should be telling the person. Because I was like, I ain't got to tell the person where I'm going. But no. If you just want to walk down the street, walk down the block, that's it. That's it. There should be no questioning. There's nothing to question because they know you. And that's part of someone that's a lover of you, not a Grim Reaper. A Grim Reaper doesn't know you. A Grim Reaper is jealous, envious. A Grim Reaper only wants you to themselves, literally. They can do what they want, but you can't do nothing. I mean, nothing. And on top of that, you a Grim Reaper too, though. You might be a Grim Reaper where it's like you might be a cheater, a serial cheater, a serial liar. Both of you guys. So all that is destruction. You see that? But if you're a godly woman and you're a godly man for the most part, of course you're not perfect. You're not Grim Reapers, right? You don't want to be a cheat. Well, you're not going to be a cheater, but you're not you just don't want those things. It's not like, oh, you want to be a liar or you want to be a cheater or you need to be. No, you're going to fight for it. Like fighting for a love where it's like, you're not going to allow anything to penetrate it. Like nothing can really, right? You don't see nothing but her in your life. Like you already know what you got. And I'm sure you've been hearing that from like the oldest of times, right? A man saying, "Oh, I know what I got." No. They don't know. They don't know. The only person that know what they got is that godly man that's receiving an angelic being, okay? That is a soul. And he won't even say it outwardly. He'll say it in his soul. I know what I got. See, it's an inside thing because it's how he's going to act, right? It's how she's going to act. All that talky, being loud. No, ma'am. No. It's going to be shown. This is not the Green Reaper. This is a lover. They are in love. They are passionate. They desire you. What they going to be in your face just saying, "Oh, I desire you"? No, they're going to show you. You are not going to ask. You're not going to have to. You're going to be pleased. That's it. That's it. You're just going to be pleased. It's going to be a lot of wow. Like, whoa, wow. That's it. Okay. And if it ain't that, it ain't for you. It ain't it. At your big age, we're not dealing with children. Come on now. We're not dealing with mentally people that got issues, cuckoo women. We're not dealing with cuckoo women. Cuckoo woman, yeah. I like that. Cuckoo woman. We're not dealing with cuckoo women. I told you what a cuckoo woman is. The ones that are robotic, they're cuckoo. I think, something messed with your mind. Now you going cuckoo. Because if you think that a cuckoo person is someone like me, because I'm also free spirit, I'm not stable, I'm not like scripted. Okay. You cuckoo though. You cuckoo. I let my hair down. I be myself. I can laugh. I can giggle. I can roar in front of my man, in front of my lover. But that's cuckoo because I let myself be free. Shoot, he be kicking his feet up. Why can't I kick my feet up? It's like, dang, like it's almost like you want these women to be so scripted and robotic while these men just rest up and like, tell them to do things like they gotta be so, yes, master, what else do you need? Okay, great. Dang. I'm not surprised when they, go cuckoo. But I'm over here going for walks, going on vacations, doing what I want when I want to do it. And then with my lover. And he accepts that because it's freedom. There's freedom there of oneself individually and each other. How about that? I allow him to cry when he needs to cry, be emotional. But I'm cuckoo. I'm cuckoo because we don't have that traditional, conventional relationship, whatever that means, lifestyle. Girl, do what you want to do. You're cuckoo, but do what you want to do. That's cool. Because maybe we are cuckoo. Cuckoo in love and passion, not lust and destruction. Amen. Jesus loves you. Yes. Hello. So yeah. Do you. Do what works for you. And that's what really is what it's all about, that whatever's for you will come when the time is ready. And that's it. He says, don't arouse love, what she does in Solomon's song. She's like, don't arouse love until it's ready. And that can mean a couple things, you know. Don't come into a woman's life and, you know, make it seem like you want to love her and care for her, and never really have the true intention to. And then women, don't pretend or try to force love on someone or make it into something when it's not. It just should be, because it would be meant to be. And I'll leave it there.